All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to YAHAWAHSHI'S, Ba'ashim Ragadash, double honors to apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing the truth and sincerity. And what I have here is Iran using kamikaze drones to swarm on the Israeli nuclear compound. And I'm going to let the clip play for a little bit as it's going to go into it. But as you can see the explosions going off.
The video you just watched comes by way of Iran during an exercise of December of last year, 2021, called Great Prophet 17. The Great Prophet exercise is run by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. This specific exercise ended on December 25th and covered 3 provinces of southern Iran. Iranian propaganda for the exercise stated that it was a response to Israeli rhetoric and a show of might. The exercise itself also included ballistic missiles fired from different platforms, as Will previously covered on Funker 530.
So I could give you a
Platforms, as Will previously covered on Funker 530, simulating strikes on sensitive Israeli sites, including a nuclear facility in Dimona, the Negev Nuclear Research Center. In a statement, IRGC Commander-in-Chief Major General Hossein Salami said, "We will cut off their hands if they make a wrong move." General Salami, and I know I'm saying that exactly like the meat, but I'm trying my hardest here as a white dude, was appointed to the position in 2007 as a replacement for Mohammed Ali Jafari. Salami generated international renown in 2019 after the downing of a U.S. surveillance drone. Now, on the Israeli side of the house, let's flip the coin over for a second. What you have from a missile defense perspective is called the Iron Dome, along with a host of other missile defense systems, including David's Sling, Arrows 2 and 3, and other systems designed to intercept and mitigate airborne threats. Israel's missile defense system gets plenty of exercise from its neighboring Gaza, where missiles and small arms are exchanged relatively regularly. But that's for another episode, and maybe even its own deep dive for the future. Before we take off for the...
And so now they up in the game with kamikaze drones, and it's just funny because last year Israel and Gaza was just going at it trying to kill each other. Now they're exchanging missiles. I was to show you a lot of these wars are set up. This is Isaiah 13:4. It says, "The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts must muster the host of the battle." So you got all these things going on, and Esau has his hand in every single war out here. There's no denying it, as much as people would like to, or people don't know about him. But it's the simple fact that a lot of these wars are set up. You go from basically all-out brawl to being allies again, when y'all just killed a whole bunch of people of each other. And it's what I get out of these wars, especially in this era of Babylon ruling, it's not about the people dying. It's about the resources that each kingdom has. And whoever decides to mess with them, they're going to retaliate back, as any kingdom would. But hell, back then, before this place, usually a war would break out because people were dying and they was trying to take over their kingdom. Now this is not even what it's about. Now it's just all money made. It's a money made war. But this money made war is soon to come to an end, because everybody's going to come to an all-out brawl. That's why the Lord's going to gather all these nations for a final round. This is Isaiah 13:20. It says, "It shall never be inhabited," talking about Babylon, "neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there." Actually, I'm going to go and read a little bit up higher. Actually, I think how all this entire verse is just really great. I'm gonna start at 11. It says, "I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold," talking about his elect, his hopeful elect, "even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall come, and it shall be as the chase roe, and as the sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land." And you got now a lot of foreigners starting to go back to their own land, even though they still stay here to milk the money or the honey. But once that dries up, they're going back. Once they know that the war is sealed, be prepared to see a lot of these businesses close down, especially foreigners. I'm talking about the ones like the 7-Elevens, the pizza places, and all of them. The gas stations probably wouldn't be surprised. Be prepared to see them all going back or being shut down, going back to where they originally were. And we have nowhere to go, so we're just stuck here. But the Lord is literally calling these heathens back to their own nations, especially for when the World War III kicks off. They gather them all in one spot as the Valley of Jehoshaphat, or as other people like to call it, Armageddon, and destroy this place, leaving every kingdom defenseless, right for the taking, or should I say, right for the destroying. Let me keep going. It says, "Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravaged." And this is starting to go into this place right here, Babylon, because when this place shuts down and they start implementing the MOTB, things are about to get, well, hell, this is going to be the worst collapse that any society will ever see. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children." And how that's even also going into their families also trying to kill each other to survive. But then you're gonna have the military out here really trying to get busy. So there's a lot of things that's gonna happen. I mean, hell, the list goes on and on with what's gonna go on. And we've been telling it for years. But it's gonna take for these people to realize at the last minute that what was said was all true prophecy. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms," talking about this place that we're all stuck in. And notice that it said the glory of kingdoms. It has asked on it, which means Esau has the hand in every kingdom that's out here right now. Sure, you may have these presidents of other countries still there, but Esau, ultimately, these rats have a hand in each and every single kingdom. That's why they could pay have fun paying off wars. That's why it says the glory of kingdoms, not even just what's the kingdoms that's going on now, but even the past kingdoms, the Babylonian kingdom, the Greek kingdom, every kingdom and empire that was ever made. It is the glory of kingdoms, of wicked kingdoms at that. It says, the beauty of the Chaldees, or the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, which means when this place burns, it's going to stay burned. You won't even be able to come near this place. And thankfully, we would be happy never to come near this place. Because it is the most filthiest, most disgusting, most vile land that this world has ever seen. It says, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So when these other countries see that this place is no good, they're not even going to want to come back here. But when they really see this place burning, how no one is going to be able or want to be even able to rebuild this place. I'm pretty sure that every kingdom out here is waiting to see this place burn. And it's just a given moment of time that they all agree for it. That's why all these wars are sparking off. All these kingdoms are pissed off at this place. And this is where you get World War III, or as people would say, Armageddon. Because the end is definitely here. People just don't realize it. It says, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall be there. It's like it shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So this place, when it's time for this place to be destroyed, it won't be prolonged. Hell, it's only going to take an hour to destroy this place. So that tells you that the Lord is ready to get this done and over with. It's just a matter of when. But until then, we got to stay faithful. Because that reward of being the hopeful elect, to be able to escape the wrath of the Lord, is a trillion times better than suffering the wrath of the Lord. Especially when that you don't want to be counted amongst the 2/3. So speaking of which, this is Job 5:20. It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death. Talking about the Lord redeeming us, the hopeful elect, I should say that. And in war from the power of the sword. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. So we won't be afraid when this place has come to destruction. How we, even though we're not, I would say we're not, or haven't never experienced a collapse of a society, but we look forward to it. To know that the Lord is slowly trickling down the power of this place to make it irrelevant, to make it hated, to see the power stripped and tortured from this place, to make our enemies believe that this place is going to continue forever, but then see that they don't, at this point, they don't even want to see it continue because how messed up this place is. When that destruction comes and the Lord seals his elect, the elect won't be afraid when the destruction comes, because at this point everything will start being set back to normal, starting with the beginning of the destruction of this place and then the kingdom of heaven. So we got a whole great finale ending waiting for us, and we look forward to this place falling. And when I mean falling, I don't mean just shut down. I mean completely obliterated off the face of this earth. So that's all I have going into that. So, Lord One, this was a little edifying, and with that, Shalom.